All right, hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video. And let's dive right in. We've had a week of freezing weather and no power in Austin, Texas, so it's good to be back online. So this morning we puked it up and we got out of our hedges down here and started nibbling on the long side, which was great. And then, so a lot of questions I got today was one, how did you know how to hedge? And then two, why did you start buying this morning when it looked like the market was about to die? So first of all, it's good to look at a daily chart, and I'm a fan of the 195 minute. When the daily chart goes yellow on these 10x bars, it just means that we're now neutral, if I spelled that right. Okay, so if it's neutral and we're going up, you just got to be, that's green, right? That's powerful. But if it's neutral, you just want to be a little careful. You see some sell signals. But really what I want to do is when I see these red 10x bars, that just means that momentum is accelerating to the downside. And at that point, I look at this and just say, man, I'm going to reduce exposure to longs and then add hedges. Okay, sometimes the market will just turn around and be fine, and other times it'll go like this. So we were well positioned for this morning, and then from there the question is, well, how do you know like to buy? Well, on stuff like that, like when you get close to like that 89 period moving average on the daily chart, the first test is always a buy. At the very least, if it's going to be a bad market, you're going to come back to the 21 and roll over and die. But I'm not even looking for new highs here, but I think we could get to the 21 period moving average, which is about 13,400. So it's a playable bounce. All right. So the key with all this is that you just want to be able to read the markets. Now, if we're looking at a daily chart, really that's kind of an uptrend, right? But you want to also be able to read them on multiple time frames. And if we look at what's happening on the 195-minute chart, this is clearly something what I call, you've got a phase of distribution, okay? And then you actually have, essentially a sell-off, all right? So we got to look at and understand these and make sure we know what to do with them. All right, so this is a bit clunky here, but it's important because we got to understand what kind of market we're in. So what we've been in is an advancing market, okay? And, it's pretty self-explanatory. We've broken out. There's a lot of buying. The dips are very shallow, and you kind of get speculation towards the end. And then you hit some distribution. That's what we're doing right now, is we're hitting distribution. Now the question is from distribution, do we go into phase 4, which is a declining market, or is this going to be temporary distribution and we resume? I do think it's going to be temporary distribution and we resume. But it's important to understand and be able to read what phase we're in. Because if you're applying a strategy that really works well in advancing markets, and you try to do that in a distribution market, or God forbid a declining market, you are going to get throttled. All right. And so the key is simply understanding what phase we are in and then applying the best strategy for that phase. All right, so I'm going to be talking about this and a bunch more stuff tomorrow, Wednesday night, February 24th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central, on a free webinar. And what I'm going to be highlighting is last year I traded 3 accounts, and my specific small account that started at 10K ended up at 54K. Which is, I think, about, 340%. Okay. So the other thing is that last year I also traded a large account that ended up being up 1,270%. And as I reviewed, I always, spend January 1st, that time, reviewing everything. As I reviewed that, especially in the large accounts, I saw some things that I could do for small accounts to kind of boost the returns there. And even though this week has been super volatile, the small account has had a great week. Monday, we were up, let me see. Yeah, it's like 2% or 4% on Monday, and then 0.5% today. So it hasn't, it doesn't mean, the markets are going down. Okay, we're positioned for it because we're looking at this stuff. But what I'm excited about too is that, in my large account, I'm pretty aggressive. So in the small account, I want to preserve capital as much as I can while trying to see what we can do. And what was great about reviewing my large account trading and setups is I was able to take nuggets out of that, and we've already been applying them to the small lot account for this year. So I'm going to be talking about this on Wednesday. So, talk about a Roku trade that was pretty great that we already did. We're going to be talking about how to rotate trades. And even if you're a part-time trader and you got a full-time job, and if you're just new to this stuff, instead of, don't get me wrong, if you played GameStop and made money on Reddit, awesome. But if you find in other times you're chasing and it feels like you're the last one in and you're the bag holder, this is the kind of stuff, we've been doing this a long time. Newbie proof management system, because this is mostly an option, so I try to keep it fairly simple and straightforward, and just being able to adapt to the markets. All right. So anyway, this will be fun. It'll be about an hour, hour and a half. A lot of actionable insights that you can take. First name, last name, email. You'll get some information on it, and we'll see you there.